My name is Annabel Knight. I work for the Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation UK branch.
And my name is Luis Geronimo, and I also work for the Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation in Lisbon. The Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation is a transnational organization based in Lisbon with branches in London and in Paris. The Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation works in four main areas: arts, education, science and charity. But if we want to pick up a common theme of all our work is innovation.
I think responding to the need for social innovation, I think one of the key things that our foundation does and that foundations can do is in creating connections across borders that create problems for other organisations and other individuals. So we're a transversal foundation, we're also transnational, and that reflects some of the values of our founder, who himself brought people together from various different backgrounds, but also from different nations, to be able to respond to certain challenges by taking ideas from all sorts of different fields.
So our work has been changing because more and more we want to be perceived not as merely funders, but as partners. So more and more we are engaged in all the process of funding, and including in that funding package not only financial resources, but also some other resources like expertise and know-how that we can bring and then can make the project flourish better.
So beyond just our funding, we're also able to add in certain contacts that might be slightly difficult to access. We're also able to add in contacts from across a range of subsectors and a range of sectors. So perhaps an organisation has great contacts within the field of ageing, say, but actually maybe they've never thought about how can we learn from service design examples in the homelessness sector. So we're able to perhaps see, because we take the broader overview of what's happening in the charitable sector, in the social sector more broadly, we can make some connections that otherwise they might not be able to do. There are various ways that funding organisations can add more than just their money to an issue. So it's thinking about what other resources, what other values do you hold as an organisation that you can bring to the table. So sometimes that is things like networks, sometimes it's about responding to the values that you have as a foundation, but it's also being more creative. So for example, is there space within your offices that you can use? Can you perhaps test some of the models that you're promoting within your own organisation? So I think there are lots of different ways that foundations can get behind social innovation in a more proactive way. Foundations can do a lot to support social innovation. I think one important thing is to not see it as a thematic area of work or a funding programme, but to consider it as how you work. So make sure that innovative practices and models are embedded in the way you work. This is something we're moving towards. Admittedly, it's not something that is always across the board. And I think we could think more about how we work with our partners to ensure that they're getting the most of innovative learning that we're gathering from other fields. But it's about looking at your current partners and your current grantees and thinking, what other learning can we add in to the way that we work with them? So really embedding that. Sustainability isn't just about economic and environmental sustainability, it's about social sustainability, and sometimes that, I think, means embedding good practice. It's not about carrying one thing on forever.
We are working with SIX, I think, since its very beginning. We supported the edition of the first summer school in San Sebastian in 2008. Then we held a summer school in Lisbon in 2009. Then we had a thematic spring school around aging in 2010 in our Paris office. But more than just running events, our relationship is based on our trust on the work the SIX is doing, on the unbelievable network that the SIX has, and the people that with fresh ideas that can bring along and get together. But we think sometimes there are some regions where we are operating that the SIX is not reaching, and that's what we are trying to do by developing social innovation scheme with the African Portuguese-speaking countries, and I think that's our next step in our relationship.
I think for the foundation it'll be interesting to see how SIX and the Global Innovation Academy begin to scale some of the great practice that they have been able to document and gather together. This is really the first network of its type that is in operation globally. But one of the main challenges I think that we've seen is how do you scale some of those good ideas so you're not just always prototyping and things aren't getting any further. So I think the SIX network and the Global Innovation Academy are two great vehicles for making that happen.